Injury is definitely the hardest part of fast bowling, and there's some tough times for sure, and I think you've got to come to the realisation that it's part of the game as a quick. No matter how hard you work sometimes, things are just going to almost be out of your control sometimes.
Big Basket presents RCB Bold Diaries.
Josh Hazlewood from Bengaluru, New South Wales, representing RCB. I think, growing up, the typical, Brett Lee, Glimm McGrath, Jason Gillespie, probably watching that attack, we were probably anywhere from 10 years old up to 15, 16 watching those guys play, and I think that team in general and that fast bowling group in general is I guess who inspired us now. I think if you're going to be compared to anyone, it's definitely Glimm McGrath. I think the comparison's just from, we're both from country towns, we bowl pretty similar. Yeah, we take it pretty easy, we're pretty relaxed customers and very similar in that regard, so I think that's where that comparison comes from. Early on it was extra pressure, but I think now that I look back and think about it, it's quite flattering really. And he keeps it very simple, such as me. It's just you bowl the ball there on the top of off stump and let it do its thing. So simple is sometimes the best thing. I think the people who came before us just set the tone really. I think that team, mid-90s through to probably 2005, 2007, that team was just you had to win. People expected you to win. You're the Australian cricket team, you're always expected to win every game. I guess that's a bit like the Indian cricket team now, there's so much pressure to win every game. I think Paddy and I are very similar in our regards, in our skill sets. He's obviously a bit quicker and the bounce is a bit more of a weapon for him, but having those variations with Stark, the left arm swing, probably bowls fuller, strikes at a hell of a rate, and then Cummins and I and Line are sort of that stranglehold on the group. Everyone knows their role so well and everyone does it well 9 times out of 10, so the pressure just feels like it's on that batting group and it's just suffocating. The strengths are all different and that balance really creates a great dynamic in the group. I think as a young bowler, you have your strengths and you have your weaknesses, and I think, yes, you have to work on your weaknesses, but your strengths have to be better than everyone else. So probably took that attitude into my accuracy. That's my strength, the bounce is my strength, so let's make those two things as good as they possibly can. It's come pretty natural to me. The action's always been pretty repeatable. I've worked hard to get it to that point, and our run-up's nice and fluent. Nothing much changes in my action from start of the day to the end of the day, and I find it just quite easy to repeat where I want to land the ball due to my action. So I think guys really work on different things as they get older, but I think for me my action has been pretty consistent for a number of years now, and the result is accuracy down the other end. I think death bowling's it's obviously very tough, and there's not many people who can do it, and I definitely don't see myself as an expert, that's for sure. You've got guys who skin the cat a different way. You've got guys like Bumrah who have a great Yorker, a great slow ball, can rely on that. Their skills are so good, but I think for me, yes, Yorker's probably one, but it's more trying to read the batsman and try and keep one step ahead of him, and I think that's probably the key. Whether it's setting through setting your fields or through bluffing with bowling against your fields, it's just staying that one step ahead of the batsman and ahead of his mindset, and try and predict what's going to happen the next ball. Makes your life a lot easier. If you're one step behind and playing catch up, it's a tough spot to be in.
10 minutes to go. Can they deliver? They've brought it home in 10 minutes. Remember the name.
बिग बास्केट 10 मिनट का नया नाम.
Injury is definitely the hardest part of fast bowling, and there's some tough times for sure, and I think you've got to come to the realisation that it's part of the game as a quick. No matter how hard you work sometimes, things are just going to almost be out of your control sometimes. It's not easy missing games, in particular probably test matches, which it really sucks sometimes, and you're always away from the team doing your rehab. They're the long days to get back, so they're frustrating. You do everything you can to sort of bulletproof your body as best you can to not be injured, but sometimes it just comes your way and you've got to deal with it. And I was actually out with a calf from the 𝗵𝗺𝗺𝗃𝗃, and that actually came good very quickly, and hit another hurdle with my hip, which actually took a bit longer, and obviously wasn't quite ready for Champions Trophy, and probably just made it in time for IPL. So as I said before, I'm feeling fresh mentally, fresh physically. I've had a good sort of chunk in the gym. It's almost like a mini pre-season. So yeah, the ball came out well the other night. Hopefully just keep improving on that, and yeah, we'll go from there. I think bowling to Virat at any stage it gets the best out of you. You know, you might be turning up to training a little bit flat, just go through the motions, but you look down and see him 22 yards away. I feel like it just kicks you into gear, and you get a lot out of training, I think. It's a great battle all the time. We've had some good tussles in the middle as well for international cricket. He obviously has that aura about him. We obviously fully respect, you know, what he's done in the game and what he's still doing now. And he's probably one player who sort of comes at you, plays his shots, likes to tick the scoreboard over. Yeah, he's always a huge wicket for us in any format. He's scored a lot of hundreds against us in all formats. So in the nets, he just gets that little bit more out of you, and you finish the session, you're like, okay, I'm ready for the game, definitely. I think what makes the difference between a good fast bowler and a great fast bowler, the main ones are the mindset and the hard work. For Test cricket, I think being tall helps. I mean, Dale Steyn probably bucked that trend, but I think you've got to have, he made up for it in other skill. So I think skill is probably the go-to. Hard work, definitely, that's always there. We know fast bowling is ridiculously hard, in particular in Test cricket, on the body. And I don't know, for me, I think patience is a big one for me. Great attributes for a fast bowler. I think they have to work on their skill. Everyone's got one skill that's probably better than someone else, and for me it's probably the accuracy. Everyone's different, and that has to be above everyone else around the world to get picked. Yeah, I think India's got a huge stable of fast bowlers. I think if you look back at, you know, the last 30 years, it just keeps on improving, I think. So, you know, it'll be up to us to keep pace with them. Whether, you know, Australia, South Africa are a history of great fast bowlers, New Zealand and England, and I think we're going to have to lift our game to keep up. When you're part of a franchise for, you know, longer than a few weeks, which I have now with RCB, it sort of becomes very familiar and very much home. So, you know, whether it be the hotel, the group, everything together, it just feels like, you know, a bit more like a family. I think, you know, I can only thank RCB for getting me back again for this cycle, and hopefully I can help out with a few wins this year and get us in a strong position. But it's tough anytime you have to leave a group that's striving towards something, you feel part of something, and you feel like it's heading in the right direction, and then obviously injury strikes and you have to go home. But yeah, that's just part and parcel, I guess, of professional sport. But back here now, and I'm feeling fit and ready to go. One thing I want to achieve as a fast bowler, I think probably to finish my career on my own terms. I think I've seen fast bowlers finish on their own terms, and I've seen fast bowlers finish through injury, which is very common, and not everyone gets a fairy tale. But I think knowing when to finish and finish on your own terms, I think that's one sort of tick of the box that I think every quick wants to do. New age fast bowlers, I think the one message is it's going to hurt. Everything's going to hurt for a long period of time, so get used to it.
Big Basket presents RCB Bold Diaries.